So a little over 2 weeks ago, I posted a concept video for operators. And then 2 weeks prior to that, I did another one. And let's just say between those two videos, you guys, you guys love this series. So I guess I'm going to keep it around because my God, you guys have operator ideas up the ass. And just like last video, I told you guys to create operators. And let's just say there were around 1,200 submissions. That's insane. That's a lot of people, a lot of ideas. Unfortunately, we only picked the top 10 of the ideas. By we, I mean Silo and Sissy. They're the ones that pick the ideas. They send it to me. Either it's good or they're bad. I actually don't know up until I read it. So if it's bad, trust me, I'm gonna let you know. But if you guys want to see some more concept videos, be sure to like the video. I don't know, 2,000 likes and I'll upload another one next week, or I guess every 2 weeks I'll do one. I'll give you guys time to come up with some banger ideas. To participate, all you need to do is quite simple. A name for said operator, the origin, primary weapons, secondary weapons, gadgets, if it's a defender or an attacker, a basic description of how the ability works, what's the armor and what's the speed, and if you really want to go in depth, you can create lore for said character. We have fun around here, so do what you want as long as it has like the basic principles of creating an operator. But without further ado, here is Operator Concepts Part 3. First submission from Meme Lord 288. What a W ass name. First of all, the name of this operator is kind of cool. You guys don't miss with names, okay? Within the last two videos, this is the one thing I noticed, and that's genuinely knowing that you guys don't miss. So the name is Reaper. Origin is unknown. First, I'm gonna give it 10 out of the name. That name is awesome. Primary, P90 and F2. That is very, very weird. That is a wild primary loadout. P90 or F2. It already sounds like an attack operator. F2 should not be on defense. Secondary, Bailiff, and Ash's pistol. I'm guessing it's like the 5.7 or whatever the hell the other pistol's called. I'm not good at names, so I'm glad he typed Ash's pistol because he understands my language. Gadgets, proxy alarm or deployable shield. Oh, so it is a defender. Oh, it says defender right here. Description, has 2 drones that basically can shoot a small bomb which does 60 damage if it's on you for too long, and when removed by another player it does 20 damage to the other player. But this has a downside. When tagged, reveals your location for however long the bomb is on the player. Each drone has only 1 shot. Oh, so what it sounds like, it's like a mix of a Twitch drone as well as like a lion skin. What the hell am I thinking of that sounds exactly like this? Okay, you guys ever play Valorant, the Sova drone, and it just essentially pings their exact location? It kind of reminds me of that. Or the target finder from Halo 5 or Halo Infinite. But the damage bonus is kind of crazy. What I'm finding interesting is that it takes an entire another operator to help you. So you need a homie to pull off whatever gadget's on you. That part seems very unfortunate. What's the point of that? Why can't you just pull it out yourself? And you deal damage to the person that's helping you? God, that's rough. Now, I wonder when he says it tags and reveals your location, if it's a ping or if it's like a constant ping or like a constant icon above the head. So like, for instance, you know, when you get interrogated by a cav, it reveals the location and the icon follows you exactly. Or it's like Deimos drone where it exactly sees the ping on where you're standing. Is it like that? There's a lot of questions I need to ask myself, but off the rip of what I read, this seems crazy. Not only is the drone kind of crazy to have on defense, it's pretty much guaranteed intel. You could essentially play it like a Mozzie. It sounds like a better Mozzie, to be honest. And you could deal damage. 60 damage over time that's a lot. That's insane. Okay, before I even go more into it, it's 1 armor and 3 speed. And it's a quick operator? Jesus Christ. Lore. One day at home, he was tortured and traumatized after the 9/11 events. This is because he found out that everyone that he ever knew or loved had died. He wanted vengeance. Revenge for people who killed his family. So he spies on terrorists and Team Rainbow and makes sure that death stares upon them with the lethal blowing drones. That is so gangster. Damn, wait, hold on. No, this guy cooked. Meme Lord, what the fuck? Bro, this is like better than Ubisoft. they be making wild lore, but this is really good. I actually enjoy this. I like the last sentence. Make sure that death stares upon them with the lethal blowing drones. That's hard, bro. That's a 10 out. That's a bar. That's a bar right there. Okay, overall, based off of this operator as a defender operator, without taking into consideration on if this character might be broken, if I had to rank it as is, This is like a 9. This is like or maybe almost a 10. I'm gonna say 9.5. Okay, it seems insane. The loadout is insane. The speed is crazy. It's an intel based operator and does damage. Like there's really no downside to this character. I wonder what this character's counters would be, because there's not a lot of counters to drones on attack. Obviously they'd be like IQ, probably Brava would be a hard counter. I like this though. Meme Lord, you cooked. Next runner up from Zoltan7. Name Whiplash. Ooh, that's kind of hard. Role attacker. Weapons primary is an AK-47. Ooh, first of all, we don't even have an AK-47. We have AK variants. We don't have an actual AK-47, which pisses me off, because if you play Clubhouse and you go to basement, you will literally see AK-47s on a gun rack. So we need an AK. I'm just saying. Or the MTS 255 revolver shotgun. I have no idea what that is, so I know Sissy will do justice and pop it up on the screen for you guys. It sounds insane. A revolver shotgun. It sounds like the revolver from Modern Warfare when you put Snake Shot on it, which that thing was insane. Secondary is an M9 Beretta. Do we not have an M9 Beretta in the game? I don't think we do. I like these weapons. Okay, creative weapons. Specs: 2 speed, 2 armor. Okay, pretty midway. 2-2 is never complainable. Country of origin, Brazil. Oh, another Brazil operator. Wonder if the lore base is going to be something to do with Cav or Capital. I think Brava's also Brazilian, if I'm not mistaken. Gadgets, smoke grenades or flashbangs. I like that, pretty balanced. Special equipment, ground-placed bolo launcher. And it says 4, so I'm assuming this launcher has 4 shots. Ability description. Now let's get to the good part. Can place a bulletproof bolo firing device onto the ground that once upon motion activation, fires up to 1 ensnaring bolo at the ankles of the target, making them fall prone, dealing 0 damage, holding extra move over 4 seconds. Oh my god, and this character gets 4 of them? It sounds very similar to a Nomad. Okay, that's like the vibe I'm getting. Like a Nomad mixed with, I don't know, it really just sounds like a Nomad. Now, dealing 0 damage is kind of interesting. Now, the one thing that really stands out is that it takes 4 seconds to remove. I just realized what a bolo is, and I strictly only know what the fuck a bolo is because I've played Ark Survival Evolved, and I would just pretty much hit dodos with a goddamn bolo for no reason. I was not a good person. So it's essentially a trap, and now I wonder is when you're in the trap, can you shoot? I'm gonna make the assumption that you can. Either you take the 4 seconds to remove it and run away, or you take the 4 seconds to shoot somebody. Either way, you're at a crazy disadvantage. It's pretty much like a Nomad, but when you hit a Nomad charge, you go flying and you can pretty much recover almost immediately. Whereas this one is that, but you're pretty much stuck, or you choose to just escape. I like this actually. This doesn't seem crazy broken. I think the 4 counting is crazy. I think it should be like 2 or 3. 4 is kind of excessive. Any gadget of having 4 is wild. All right, so Zoltan did list the counters. First up, we have Mozzie. Can shoot a pest at or near the bolo launcher to take control of it. Ooh, so does that mean it turns into your gadget, or does it destroy it? I wonder. That's interesting, but I also like it, giving Mozzie a buff. Solus can detect with the ability. That makes sense. So it's an electric gadget, so it's not like some fucking caveman device. Tubarão can freeze. W Tubarão. I know there's a lot of people that play Tubarão and like to roam for some reason, so I guess that works for you. Wamai. Magnets can intercept bolos. So the bolos you actually have to throw or shoot. You can't just place it on the ground. So it's not like a Malusi trap where you have to place it. It's its own thing, its own, I guess, throwable or projectile, I should say. Cade. Ability gadget can short circuit. So I wonder is what he means by this is if it's in like barbed wire or touching any type of electric wall, it'll break, or if you throw a Cade charge at this trap, it'll go off. And now what I'm also realizing, can you not shoot this trap or like use explosives? Is it just this? Is it like a hard device to destroy in which you have to use these operators to counter it? I guess that's some fuel for thought. And the last counter is Vigil. Can just go undetected. Thank God. I don't know why Vigil, the people are not going to agree with this, but I don't think Vigil should be able to be detected by like a Nomad. That doesn't make any sense. It's a character that is not visible to anything on camera or detectable by motion. So why is a Nomad air jab essentially not a counter? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And he listed that the main purpose of this gadget would be to counter roamers like Cav or Oryx. So just like I thought. It's an operator that you pretty much bring for flank watch. So Gridlock, Nomad, and I guess it would now be Whiplash. I like how the name of the operator fits perfectly well with the gadget. A Bolo and a Whiplash. I really appreciate this. This is a good idea. If I'm being honest, I don't think this operator is bad or like broken. It seems like relatively all right. It would be pretty much like bring either a Nomad or bring either Whiplash kind of vibe. If I had to rate this, I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. I'm more of a fan of the weapon loadouts that he picked. I'm a big fan of that. But let's go on to the next one. Next up, from Biggie Baller for Show. That's such a crazy name. Name of the operator, Hush. Ooh, I like these one word like operators. It's just tough. Like, it just sounds like a cool gamer tag, to be honest. Origin, North Korea. Attacker, 1 armor, 3 speed. So quick operator. Loadout, primary is mute shotgun or Deimos's AR. The fact that he said Deimos's AR and not Nomad's is diabolical to me. Secondary is the PMM or SPS SMG, the 1 Cali secondary. Thank God he said that, because I didn't know what the hell that was. But the PMM as a secondary is insane. That thing's almost like a 2-shot. It pretty much is a 2-shot for most operators. Gadget name is Silence. That's kind of gangster, I'm not gonna lie. And now here's the gadget description. Turn on a 15-second ability on hand, similar to Vigil, and stop all defenders' electronics in a 10-foot radius. Now this one, we all know exactly what the hell I'm gonna say. It just sounds like Thatcher, but he's saying all defenders electronics, so I'm assuming obviously it'd be like reticles, would be like mute jammers, ADSs, Wamais, all that shit. So it really just seems like a mobile Thatcher, but as the operator. Now I'm trying to think, who would this be crazy against? Now, would this be like a complete hard counter to Clash? Like, if I'm fighting a Clash and I turn on my ability, does it completely make it so Clash can't use her shield? If that's the case, that's insane. I'm just trying to think. Like, it really just sounds like a Thatcher EMP. Like, and Thatcher's EMP radius is kind of crazy, but I don't know if it's 10 feet. And a lot of people bring like ADSs and Wamai gadgets, so Thatcher doesn't really come relevant out like inside of sight. So inside of sight, I could pretty much see this character being kind of crazy, but it seems very situational. Like, would I turn my gadget on to like, I'm trying to think. Oh my God, no, I just thought of one perfect thing. It would counter C4 throws. For example, let's say you're playing bank and you're pushing downstairs. You break open the one room in security. You break open the single wall in blue to the site, and you just, do that little back plant where you just like kind of creep up and plant safely. Normally, everyone gets C4'd. You have to bait the C4. Now, if you put this gadget on, would it counter the C4? If that's the case, this is crazy. I'm going to make the assumption and say that's exactly how it works. So this man would counter C4 plants as well as smokes. So, oh my God, no. Yeah, Thatcher can't do that unless he times it well. This is pretty much a hard counter to smoke and C4s, as well as echo drones and maestros. Holy shit, no, this character is kind of insane. At first I was like, it doesn't make any sense, but when you like think of stuff like this, I can see it working. Okay, let's read the lore. Hush was a normal kid in North Korea, and her mother, ooh, so Hush is a female, W. Wonder if she baddie though. All right, I'm gonna, anyway. And her mother was trying to help her escape. I like how this kind of like lore kind of like correlates with actual North Korea. But anyway, while they were trying to escape, her mother got shot and killed by police. She got captured and brainwashed into a highly skilled soldier for North Korea. Oh my God. I wonder how she got into Rainbow then. I'm assuming some operation happened. No, let's not go too in depth. Lore go crazy, I ain't gonna lie. It's like realistic too, especially with, North Korea. Okay, honestly though, after reading everything and breaking down the character, it's time to rank the character. This operator is definitely like a situational thing. Like, you would bring it if you're trying to execute a plant and you don't want to deal with C4s, maestros, echoes, any of that shit, or even smoke grenades. If that's the case, this character is like a high 9, but like off rip, just bring in this character on like a normal push, it just wouldn't make any sense. I mean, you could technically counter bandit tricking then. You just stand by the wall. God, the more I think about it, this character just might be like a better Thatcher. Like, you just essentially turn on your ability. You can't bandit trick because the gadget won't turn back on because it's in the radius. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the first 10. The more I break down this character, the more I'm like, holy shit, like, it could really be insane. I wonder how long the duration is. Probably long enough to get a plan off and long enough to get wall. So I'm gonna give it a 10. I take it back. It's a 10 out of 10. This character on paper is kind of insane. But let's go to the next one. Next submission is from Peanut2943. Name, Deceptor. Ooh. Attacker. Origin, Poland, in brackets, Warsaw. Don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a location. Weapons. Primary is the AK-12, G36C, and the secondaries are the Q929 and the SMG-12. I don't know what the Q929 is, so I know for a fact there'll be an image for you guys, so that's what it is. Thank you, Sissy, my king, my glorious king. Gadgets are flashbangs and grenades. Special ability has 3 drones that he can set up throughout the map. These drones can create sound based off the input. Example, footstep sounds, gunfire, grenade sound. This could be used to throw off defenders and draw them away from the site for free and easy kills. Drone has infinite nitro boosts. Secret ability. Oh, so it's like a passive ability. That's cool. And it's a 2-speed, 2 armor. So we've had a character concept like this in the last video. I forgot the name, but it was based off of audio cues. Now, the one I like about this one that makes it way better than the other ones is that this one's drone based. So you get to pick the location, the exact location and the exact time on when to activate these sound cues. Now, the only thing that would make this cooler than the other concepts, and I don't know if it's included in this, is that if you got to pick what the sound cue was. If I get to pick between a footstep or a grenade, from what it sounds like, I would be able to. If that's the case, that is diabolical. Now, one thing that I think would be cool is if this operator, the drone, could be activated from whoever's spectating or whoever's dead. So let's say you're in a 1v1 situation, your team can activate sound cues. That would be crazy if that's the case. And if that is what it is, I'm a fan of it. But then again, operators like this seem very situational. Some people genuinely don't play with headphones for whatever reason. They play through their fucking TV monitors or just TVs in general because they're weird. I'm gonna make the assumption that the counters to this character would simply be just Mozzie and Mute, just drone counters, as well as like Maestro, because Maestro could shoot it with his gadget. But if I'm going into that specific, then I don't really need to. Overall though, it's a cool concept. Way too situational, to the point where I'm like, I don't even know when I would really want to use this, but it's a cool idea nonetheless. It's very similar to the last video in terms of the audio cues, but it's different because it's a drone. If I had to rate it though, I'm gonna give it like a 7. I'm 7 out of 10. I do appreciate this one. Do I hate it? Of course not. This is like an operator that would just be fun to make videos on, nothing more. Next up is Captain Callahan. Okay, attacker. From Ireland, specifically Dublin. Every time I think of Ireland, I just think of Lauren or Waifu Loza. If you guys don't know who that is, she's redhead, so like, you know, she sucks. Anyway, Iontas. Iontas? Iontas? Is that the name of the character? I cannot. How the fuck do you pronounce this? Iontas. Hey, somebody in the comments just break down how you pronounce this. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I'm illiterate. Meaning surprise in Irish dialect. Okay, so yeah, there was no way I was gonna guess that one. Female. Primary, the HK-417 and the AUG. Both active Irish military weapons. Ooh, we got some lore. HK-417 stats. Oh my god, actual stats. Damage 48, fire rate 650, mobility 40, capacity 20. Secondary is the Super Shorty and the P12. Secondary gadgets, flashes and EMPs. Ooh, so another operator that gets EMPs. Ability has M4 bouncers that she can place or throw to watch her or her team's flanks. M4 bouncers stick to surfaces on walls, and when enemies walk within its range, it will explode and deal 50 damage. Has 4 bouncers. Oh my god. So we have another flank watch operator, but this one's like insane. 4 is crazy. Like, you see what I'm saying, guys? 4 is diabolical. I would say like 3 max. 50 damage? It's just like an explode. That could literally kill somebody. I wonder if it's a small gadget or a big gadget. But anyway, let's get on to the counters. Hacked Brava and Twitch drones. So I'm assuming when he says hacked, I'm assuming Mozzie. When Mozzie pretty much hacks a Twitch drone or Brava, those drones could destroy it. Solus, Tubarão, bulletproof cameras. Ooh, bulletproof camera. Interesting choice. Shooting and explosions. Okay, so this one, unlike the other one, you can actually shoot and explode. So it's not that crazy, but if it catches you, it's wild. Now, before I go into the lore, let's just kind of think more on the ability. So first thing I'm noticing is that you can only place it on walls, so not grounds. So it limits where you could put it on, because unlike air jabs or anything like that, You can pretty much just stick it on the top of a door frame, on the corner of a staircase, or literally in the middle of the hallway if you want to be weird. But this one makes it so there's not a lot of diversity, and I'm assuming it's like that because it does actual damage. I'm also going to make the assumption it's a loud noise, it's an explosion, and if you really wanted to just kind of go through it, you can. Now, one more assumption I have is suppressors would go hard on this, meaning if you just shot the gadget, it wouldn't make like a loud noise. Have you guys ever heard somebody shoot a Nomad air jab with a suppressor? I haven't, because every time it does happen, I end up dead. So there's a lot of counters, so it doesn't actually seem broken. I will say that. Having 4 of them sounds broken. Having 3 doesn't. One thing I'm actually curious about, if you stack all of them together, does it act like a Capcan trap? Do like they all do a shit ton of damage, or does only one activate, destroying the other 3 and only dealing 50 damage? These are questions that are just coming up in my head. Again, food for thought. But let's get into the lore. Iontas or Aofi, Aoife. Fuck, I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sorry. Was born in a wealthy family in Dublin, Ireland, 1991. Oh, so this is a young broad. She grew up going to Nord Angela private school. Have no fucking idea how to pronounce that, but there you go. Her father was a service member in the army, Major Wing in Ireland. Her mother was a model. Damn, her mom was a baddie? Hold on, listen. Hold on. Fuck the operator. What was her mom like? Where your mom at? Her mother wanted her to become a model like her, but she wanted to be in the special forces like her dad. One day, her father went on a counter-terrorist mission in which her father went MIA. Wanting to know more of what happened to her father, she joins the Irish Army and later finds a role with Army Major Wing, where she did her first counter-terrorist mission with Rainbow operatives Mira and Jackal. Ooh, in Operation Strong Dam. Holy shit, yo, I like the lore, and I love how it actually has other operators in it. I love that so much. A defensive operator against attacking terrorists. Aofi later becomes a Rainbow operator, in which she worked with Mira to make her primary gadget, the M4 bouncers. So not only is there actually solid and sufficient lore, but it also correlates with past other characters' lores like Mira. I love this. You guys really do cook on the lore idea, and I have to say, I appreciate that. Now, I will say, I'm going to rank the operator right now. I don't think this character is broken, and that's a good thing. I do think, however, this character is pretty solid and I would say situational. Off paper, would I want to bring a Nomad over this character? Of course, but that's strictly for the fact that I'm a Nomad crush, so I'm very biased on this. But overall, it's a cool option. I'm going to give this character like a 7.5 out of 10. I like this character. I like the lore a lot. Again, you guys got to realize like a 7 or a 7.5 isn't deemed bad. It's just deemed on the scale of playable as well as brokenness. So fair play. I appreciate you, Captain Callahan. On to the next one. This one is from Danish Door Handle. What the fuck kind of name is that? Anyway, name is Seismisk. Seismisk? I'm assuming, is it supposed to be Seismisk or Seismic? Or Seismic? I don't know. Whatever. That's however it's spelled, that's what it is. Origin, Denmark. Defender. Oh, we're finally getting some more defenders. We've had nothing but attackers, it seems. Primary weapon is the FMG-9 or the M590A1. I'm pretty sure that's mute shotgun. I could be wrong. Secondary is the D50 or SMG-11. Holy shit. So it seems like a shotgun SMG-11 or FMG with a D50, which is also viable because just like the D50, you can make headshot holes or feed holes with it. People gotta realize that it's still good for that purpose. Gadget can activate tectonic, which allows him to see vibrations through floors and walls. Holy shit. This gives him the ability to see footsteps, drones moving, and environment changing like gadgets being deployed. In brackets, it recharges similarly to Nox's ability, however, only doesn't drain when not moving. That's an interesting concept. When the ability is activated, your screen will look similar to Solus's ability, but green, and you will be able to use your secondary weapon like Deimos. Oh, so no primaries. That's probably why he gave him the SMG-11. Secondary gadgets, impacts or bulletproof camera. Backstory, Seismisks. I know Seismic. I don't fuck, how do you pronounce this? Whatever. Similar to Nox, was in the Jaeger Corps and worked alongside with her, much like Lion and Finka. However, he still doesn't know what she looks like. Oh, okay, so I appreciate again how we're starting to use other operators to make the lore actually seem very viable. And I also like how they kept the lore of not not knowing what the fuck knock looks like. But during deployment, he used his skills to develop the technology to see vibrations in the environment, and which gave him an edge over people who only use night vision. That's why his ability appears green. Oh, that's also some cool lore. Operator is 3 speed, 1 health. Counters can be disabled by EMPs, temporarily disabled by Brava drones, or Dokubi calls. Ooh, okay. So Dokubi gets another counter. You know, she pretty much fucking counters everybody. Brava drone's an interesting counter because Brava can't because I'm pretty sure Brava can't hack Vigil. So this is like a direct thing, as well as I'm pretty sure Brava can't hack Solus. But I do like how it disables it for like a time. So it's not like a complete counter. Okay, going off of this, it sounds interesting and it also doesn't sound crazy. Vibrations. I'm trying to think how this works. Now, when he says he can see like footsteps and drones, is it kind of like how through a floor and somebody's playing above you? Let's say you're playing Clubhouse, right? You're defending Armory, you're just watching main hatch, and the enemy team is pushing through kitchen. You would be able to essentially see when they break a barricade, because he did say environmental changes, and that is one. Would be able to see footsteps, so if somebody is walking in a certain direction, would be able to floor bang pretty accurately because this character has the secondary out all the time, or could direct his teammate to C4 below. Very interesting. It's like a mix of Pulse, Solus, and kind of a bit of what Two-Brow should have been. You guys remember when Two-Brow was able to see footsteps with the ability, but they for some reason deemed it broken and they just didn't do it? It's kind of like that. So it's like a mix of all 3 of them. It doesn't seem broken. This character, again, it seems more of like a roam operator than anything. But also, how would you roam with it? I guess if you're roaming, you have your ability out, you would literally just be able to see where people are walking around you. So it's almost like wall hacks in a way. Oh, this character is kind of crazy. I generally think I need more of a breakdown from Danish door handle because my brain is just kind of running everywhere. And if I continue on this, I'm gonna continue to fucking yap. But on paper, it sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna give this one like an 8.5 out of 10. I just would like to know more about this character. Next operator, from TTV NFX 9804. Name Black Widow. I literally just think of Black Widow from Marvel. She was a bad bitch.
Watch the road.
I got it.
Anyway, origin North Carolina, United States. Role attacker. Primary weapon M4 carbine, L1A1, and the R4C. Insane loadouts. Insane primary weapons. That's insane. Secondary weapons. Glock 19 and the Gon 6. Finally, we got somebody that actually picked a Gon 6. I swear to God, nobody ever decides to pick a Gon 6. So I appreciate this. Gadgets. EMP grenades, and smokes. So this character has 3 choices and can technically be a support character. Special ability. Blackout. Black Widow could deploy a device that temporarily turns off all lights in the area. Plunging into darkness. She can activate her night vision goggles, giving her a significant advantage over enemies who are not equipped to see in the dark. The ability can be used to disorient defenders and create opportunities for her team to advance or breach rooms. Oh my god. This is like, this should have been a thing. It's kind of like reminding me of when you EMP an old room, back when there were night maps when you were playing Thatcher, where the room would just be like, not pitch black, but like very dark and just very obscured. Because the lighting in the game back then was just horrible, so everything was dark as shit. This is crazy though, because this character would essentially have night vision goggles and would be able to see the person and would be able to see everybody, and they wouldn't be able to see her. God damn, this is actually crazy. I didn't even finish it. The drone. Her drone is a robotic spider that can climb walls quietly. The drone also has night vision. Jesus Christ. She has 1 normal drone in drone phase, but she only gets 1 spider drone. So there's the balance. She only gets 1 drone. I also like how it's a spider drone and can climb walls. We've never seen some shit like that so far. And it matches the name. Black Widow is a spider, and I'm appreciative of this. Speed 3, armor 1. Okay, so going off of that, there are counters. So the only way to activate this character, it would be to genuinely get your drone into sight. Now to do that, you have to be a sneaky son of a bitch. So let's say there is no mute or there is no Mozzie, which are the 2 hard counters. As long as you can get the drone in said room quietly and pretty much unnoticeable, this character could be crazy. It also seems like a high risk, high reward type character because everybody would be on the lookout, would watch drone holes, pay attention to the floor if they knew Black Widow was in play. It's kind of giving off Cat vibes where if it does work, it's insane, but most of the time it probably won't. I like this concept a lot. Like, it doesn't seem broken because you have to get in a situation to even do this ability, and in that case you're not even gonna guarantee winning gunfights. Some motherfuckers could just see through dark. I'm not one of them, but they really can. Going off of what I read though, I'm a fan. I don't think there's anything broken about this character. It seems very balanced. It seems fun, like a very good refreshing play style with this character. Now I wonder, can Glaz with his thermal scope also see through night vision? In theory, it should work. Why wouldn't it? So I guess Glaz paired with Black Widow would just be insane. So 2 characters that have night vision. Now, if I had to rank this character, I'm gonna give it a 10. I think this operator concept is actually cool and should actually be in the game. It doesn't seem crazy. It seems fun and seems very strat oriented. So like, I don't think you'd be able to pull this off if you're solo queuing. I like this. I like this a lot. We only got 2 more concepts left, so here's the second to last one. From Fireboy 2000, name Shadow. That's an interesting name. I think we've already heard that name before, but anyway. Side is defense, origin, redacted. Ooh, that's tough. Oh, hold on. This character better be a badass. And it's also USA, so I guess it's not full. It's like half redacted. That makes no sense. Speed, armor, 1-3. So 1 speed, 3 armor. Heavy boy or heavy woman, whatever. I don't know. I'm just gonna say chunky boy. Backstory, all redacted, and he covers his entire body in gear except for his eyes. In short, nobody knows who he is. It pretty much gives me Simon Riley vibes from like, or essentially Ghost from Modern Warfare, where you just essentially just only see this person's fucking eyes. Gadgets, blind spot, which is the nickname. A watch like Wardens that when activated sends out a bunch of small drones that could turn Shadow almost completely invisible and slightly harder to spot when standing still. It would work a little like Vigil's ERC-7 does. I'm assuming that's the name of his fucking gadget. I don't know. Drawbacks. Attacker drones can see a bright outline around you while blind spot is activated. Okay, that is a really good idea. Because if drones couldn't see this character would off rip just be fucking broken. Sprinting, shooting, knifing, going prone, or swapping weapons, it has a 7-second long activation animation. And taking out your weapon would take longer than exiting invisibility. Okay, so there's actually a lot of drawbacks to this character. Pretty much what it seems like is you essentially just have to catch the attackers off guard. So if nobody droning and nobody's really paying attention, this motherfucker is gonna get free kills. I can see some crazy plays as this operator because to the naked eye you would see nothing but like a wall or like blurs, I guess. But then again, and I can't see this character being played in high elo where everybody drones everything. Like, drones are your fucking best friend. In a 1v1 situation, this would be terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Can you imagine you're just trying to push sight and you have no camera, no intel, and you just turn a corner? You're like, oh, that's clear, and you push up and just get murdered because he's invisible right behind you. That's wild. Primaries, MP5 and the M590A1. Again, I'm pretty sure that is mute shoddy. Secondaries, the 1911 TAC Ops, a new 357 Magnum with the same destructible power as Deimos. Oh, 44 Vendetta, but not spammable and still single action. Okay, so it's a very high powered revolver and you pretty much have to cock it every time you shoot it. So there is a downside to it. I'm assuming this thing has insane damage though. Utility, Nitrocell, and Bulletproof Shield. Okay, now I know what you guys are probably thinking. Invisibility sounds broken. Now, in a game like Siege, normally I would say yes, but if you're taking into consideration the amount of droning that commences and the fact that just droning is simply a counter, I'm also going to make the assumption and say Dokkaebi and Jackal are also hard counters to this character. Doesn't make this character seem that crazy. You essentially just have to hope the other team sucks for this character to pull off. It seems like a Caveira 2.0 in a way, where the only reason why Cav stayed alive and interrogated you is because nobody droned a specific weird corner. Off of that notion, I'm not gonna lie, this character is a cool concept, but I don't really see it being played that well or honestly that effective. And for that, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. I love the idea. It's just I don't see it being played or even picked. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Now we're on to the last concept. From Tango7244. Name Tempest, meaning windy storm. Okay, that shit's kind of hard. I think of Tempest from Black Ops 3, I'm not gonna lie. Origin. Tempest grew up in Australia's storm-prone outback. Fascinated by extreme weather, her research in meteorology and weather technology caught Rainbow's attention, leading to her development of the storm canister. Ooh, that's just kind of tough. I like the lore of that. Gender is female, side defense. Okay. Primary, FMG9 or P10 Roni. No magnified scopes. Thank God. Okay, I don't want more ACOGs. I'm also noticing not everybody, I don't think anybody really specified ACOGs in this video, so I do appreciate that. Secondaries, Mozzie's pistol, SDP 9mm. Gadgets, impacts or proxies, speed 2, armor 2. Ability, 2 deployable storm canisters. You throw the canister like Tubarão, but can only be thrown on the ground. It creates a storm-like environment. If you're in the radius, your vision is blocked, like an Elamine or an Echo drone. You slow down like Melusi. Radius is 5 to 10 meters. It affects all operators, including Tempest herself. Oh, so it's not like a defender-sided gadget. It could also affect teammates? That's crazy. It doesn't destroy any gadgets. Glaz and Warden can see through it. Voice lines, it's about to get windy in here. Take cover, hold on tight. Counters, EMPs, shooting the canister, and Ash-like abilities. All I'm saying is, I love the fact that this person created voice lines and they actually make sense. I'm not gonna lie. At first I was like, it seems like Fenrir, right? But it's also situational. It affects your teammates as well as Tempest herself. You can shoot it and explode it, and EMPs do deactivate it for a time being. I like this idea. I just don't know how well it would be I guess used. I'm assuming Twitch drones and Brava drones could also counter this character. On paper, this character seems to be extremely counterable. You can counter the shit out of this operator with no problem. If this character didn't have the ability to shoot them and you had to use explosives, I could see it being crazy, but because of the fact that you can shoot him, it doesn't really seem wild. I do like the fact that Warden and Glaz can use it, but I also will say, so it kind of creates a defensive strat if you want to run a Warden plus this operator. Maybe you could think of some crazy lineups to the point where they can't even shoot the canister, and Warden will just be able to essentially have a complete smoke screen. That would be crazy. I could think of some crazy strats in that way, but honestly, it just really comes down to, it seems like one of those operators that just are extremely situational, and it doesn't even seem that great because defenders also get affected by it. So off of that notion, I do appreciate the creativity. The creativity gets a goddamn 10 out of 10. I'm actually, fuck that, it gives it 11 out of 10. It's great. In terms of playability, I don't think it's broken. I just think it actually needs to be buffed. I already think it needs to be buffed. It just seems very underwhelming. I'm gonna give it a 6. Okay, if it was any slight changes and it had way less counters, I could see it actually being very good and viable, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much all the concepts. You guys cooked. I'm not gonna lie. There are nothing but bangers in this one. Most really good ideas. Some are you have to really think about it. But overall, 10 out of 10 in creativeness. You guys were all fucking peak. Now, if you guys want me to do a part 4, let's get the video to 2,000 likes within 24 hours. And I will guarantee another one either next week or within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, 100%, it'll happen. If you guys really want, I'll post it earlier. But be sure to comment down below your operator concepts. Just have fun with it, guys. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm gonna probably pick more from the last video because, again, 1,200 fucking comments on different operator ideas is insane. But that's pretty much been today's video. You guys have been awesome. If you guys made it this far, kudos to you. Everyone in the video, appreciate you. You guys all cooked. We all can't make perfect operators, but I will say the ideas were there, and Ubisoft needs to fucking hire all of you because there are room for these operators in the game. Let's cue the outro music.
I'm about to say all the wire, you know all of her types. She got the buns I admire. I'm at the butt, I bet you call. I'm about to say all the wire, you know all of her types. I can go to her ass like a tire. She like Puppy on fire. She like Puppy on fire.
We gon' not do enough POA. You got it, nigga, my nigga. Me too. Buddy go what? Buddy go. Got buddy go. Blush you. Look. Buddy go. Buddy go. Digging that, looking back, looking back. Nigga digging that back. That's it. Buddy go back, got him.